You guys, this is Manoj. Hope you all are doing well. Today at Recraft Relic channel, we will be going through on how to generate a SSH key and use it. The process that I will be showing you first is for macOS and Linux. For Windows, the procedure is a little bit different, so I will do the Windows part in the end. Okay. So also before anything, let me give you a simple overview of what is SSH. So SSH is an acronym for Secure Shell, a network protocol which allow users to gain access or control to remote server and locations. SSH key, which we will be generating in a moment, work as an authentication mechanism, or you can say as a fingerprint, which tell our servers that we are trusted and we don't have to authenticate ourselves again and again when we are trying to access the remote resource. Okay, so that being said, let's just get started with the process. Fire up your terminal. I have mine opened here. Okay, and then just type SSH hyphen keygen and hit enter. It will ask for the location where you want to save your SSH file, and it will also give you like the default location for saving the key, which is basically your home directory, and inside that you have this SSH folder and then the IDRSA file name. IDRSA is kind of like a default SSH file which it generates by default. I'll suggest you to rename the file because whenever you create an SSH key, it will basically create a new SSH key, which will be helpful if you wanted to generate multiple SSH keys basically. So it will be easier for you to manage if you give all of your new SSH key a name. So for example, let me give it a name like GitHub key. So basically I will use it to access my GitHub accounts. So I'll just named it GitHub key. After doing this, just hit enter. It will ask you to enter a password for it. For simplicity's sake, we will not add any password or anything, but you can definitely search the benefit of setting a password to your SSH key if you wanted to on the internet basically. So if you don't want to enter in a password, just hit enter and it will ask for the same password again, but we have this empty, so we'll just hit enter and that's it. So we generated our SSH key, which is saved in this location. It is written here. Okay, so whenever we generate an SSH key, we get two files. So one file is this. Let me show you. So one file is okay, I'm messing it up. All right. Okay. So here is our key basically. So whenever we generate an SSH key, we get two files. So one is a private file or a private key, and second is the public key. So this public key goes to the server. So server can authenticate ourselves or the system basically. The second key is our private key, which we will add to our SSH agent. Okay. Okay, so before doing anything, let's just copy our public key. So we have to copy this public key and put it onto our server so server can authenticate ourselves. So I'm just going to type less, 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 and then I will give it the location of my SSH public file. So I'll just copy this, then GitHub and key.pub, and this is basically our fingerprint here, which I have to copy and give to my server. So I'll just going to copy it from SSH-RSA to my computer name. Okay. Then I will just go to GitHub, for example. Okay, yeah. And then in my settings, I'll go to SSH. I'll go to new SSH key. I paste the SSH key and I paste a unique title basically, and then I click on add SSH key. I confirm my password, and now I have a new key basically which I can use. Once that being done, we have to go and do this. So we have to add the private key to our SSL agent so it can use it to uh, uh, basically log ourselves into the server or maybe try to use the server. Okay, so I'll do an SSH hyphen add, and then I'll give it the location of my private key, which is GitHub key. Notice that I'm not adding any .pub file because that .pub file is a public file. We need like the private key here. So I'll just do this and I hit enter. So now it says that my identity is added into the SSH agent. Let's try now. Let's just try to access the server and see if it works. So I'll just try to copy, basically clone a repo over SSH and let's see if it works. Okay, so I have this package I created way back. So I'll just go here and I'm cloning it with SSH. Let's just copy this and do a git clone and put it. Okay, so as you can see, I was able to clone it. That means that authentication works. And yeah, so that is it for the Linux part. Also, guys, if you get an error like this, for example, if whenever you try to add a key to your SSL agent and you get a error like this, could not open a connection to your authentication agent, you can just execute this command. So basically what it will do is it will open your SSH agent, so the SSH add command can add your keys to the SSH agent. So you just have to copy this command and paste it and hit enter, and it basically restart your SSH agent, and then you can add your keys normally. For Windows, the procedure is pretty much same, but you have to execute all the commands that I showed you previously in this CMDR software. So what is CMDR? CMDR is basically a console emulator for Windows, which is kind of an extension over CMD or Windows Terminal that we get inside Windows basically. The benefit of it is it allows us to use Bash, the shelf of macOS and Linux inside Windows. And once you install this, you just have to open it and type bash, bash bash. And once you do this command and hit enter, you basically get a Linux a shell, so you can execute all the commands that I showed you previously, and you can generate an SSH key and use it. Okay, so I think that is the end of this video basically. So if you really love the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. In the future, we are thinking of generating a lot of videos related to software development and software which will be helpful for you to as a programmer. So don't forget to subscribe this channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.